This is the beginning of an hour of interesting facts.
Number 1.
Can you imagine working every day inside an active volcano surrounded by toxic gases and blue fire? This is exactly what the sulfur miners of the DIDN volcano in Indonesia do. There, hundreds of men descend into the volcano's crater to extract sulfur blocks that solidify near the fumaroles, where hot gas emerges from the Earth's interior. The environment is so extreme that the air is filled with sulfurous gases that can burn the lungs, and temperatures can exceed 200 degrees Celsius. Many miners work without professional masks, breathing toxic fumes and carrying up to 90 kilograms of sulfur on their backs for just a few dollars a day. And as if that weren't enough, at night the volcano offers a surreal spectacle. Blue flames produced by the combustion of gaseous sulfur, a beauty as dangerous as it is hypnotic.
Number 2.
Can you imagine a tree that bears fruit directly on the trunk? It's called jabuticaba and is a tree native to Brazil. The most surprising thing is that its fruits grow attached to the trunk and branches, as if the tree were covered with black grapes. The fruit, also called jabuticaba, has a dark and shiny skin, and its interior is sweet and juicy, very similar to a mix between grape and lychee. It is used to make jams, wines, and tropical liqueurs, and it is also rich in antioxidants and vitamin C. So, if one day you see a tree covered with grapes on the trunk, don't be scared. You might be in front of the fascinating jabuticaba tree, a natural jewel of South America.
Number 3.
Can you imagine being able to have a tattoo on your teeth? Well, in China, it's already a reality. A new trend called dental tattoos is causing a sensation. But don't worry, they are not tattooed directly on the tooth. This trend involves engraving designs, symbols, or phrases on customized dental crowns, that is, on the caps that cover the tooth. Some choose minimalist drawings, like hearts or stars, while others prefer traditional Chinese symbols or phrases with personal meaning. Dental artists use high-precision laser technology to engrave the designs, making the process safe, durable, and completely painless. Although it started in luxury dental clinics in China, this trend is gradually spreading to other Asian countries and, according to experts, could become the most striking aesthetic trend of 2025. Would you dare to wear your tattoo, but on your teeth?
Number 5.
Do you think you've tried a strong beer? Wait until you meet the most potent beer on the planet. The Armageddon beer, created by the Scottish brewery Brewmeister, was for a time the strongest in the world, with 65% alcohol by volume. Yes, stronger than many whiskeys, but they didn't stop there. The same brewery later launched Snake Venom, surpassing its own record with 67.5% alcohol. Unlike common beers that range between 4% and 8%, these liquid bombs are not drunk like soda. They are made through a partial freezing process, removing the water and concentrating the alcohol, resulting in an intense and fiery flavor. So now you know, if you ever dare to try Snake Venom, remember, it's not just a beer, it's practically bottled fire.
Number 5.
Did you know that the smallest bird in its family lays the largest egg in proportion to its body? It is the kiwi, a bird from New Zealand that breaks all the records of nature. The kiwi is a bird that cannot fly. It has a small round body and a long beak with which it searches for insects underground. But the truly incredible thing is its egg. It can take up to 25% of the female's total body weight. To give you an idea, it would be like a 60-kilogram woman giving birth to a 15-kilogram baby. The kiwi egg is not only enormous, but it also contains the largest amount of yolk in proportion to its size, which provides the chick with many nutrients and allows it to be born almost fully developed. Moreover, kiwis take great care of their eggs, burying them in burrows and incubating them for more than 70 days, twice as long as most birds.
Number 6.
Did you know that there are people who can sweat blood? Although it sounds like something out of a horror movie, it is completely real. It is an extremely rare condition called hematidrosis or hematoidrosis, in which a person excretes blood through the sweat glands. In other words, literally bleeds while sweating. Doctors believe it happens when someone is subjected to extreme levels of stress or fear, causing the blood vessels surrounding the sweat glands to break and mix blood with sweat. Documented cases show people with drops of blood on their forehead, face, or neck without visible wounds. It is so rare that only a few cases have been reported worldwide.
Number 7.
Can you imagine going to the doctor and instead of a pill, being prescribed a vacation? Well, in Sweden, this is already a reality. Yes, Sweden became the first country in the world where doctors can prescribe trips as part of medical treatment. This initiative, called the Swedish prescription, aims to improve people's mental and physical health through contact with nature. The idea is based on numerous studies showing how spending time in natural environments reduces stress, improves sleep, and strengthens the immune system. Instead of medication, patients can receive a prescription to visit places like forests, lakes, or natural trails, all within the framework of sustainable and conscious tourism.
Number 8.
Did you know that the country with the most pyramids in the world is not Egypt? Although many think of the pyramids of Giza, the truth is that another African country has more than double size. Yes, yes. We are talking about Sudan, a country located south of Egypt that is home to more than 200 ancient pyramids, while Egypt has around 120. These pyramids were built by the Kingdom of Kush, a civilization that flourished over 2,500 years ago and even conquered Egypt for a time. Masinta Pata Dibakas Asintasin. Unlike the enormous Egyptian pyramids, those in Sudan, especially in Meroe and Napata, are smaller and steeper, but just as impressive. They served as tombs for the Kushite kings and queens, who imitated Egyptian traditions but with their own style and architecture. Senpaisea Yasa de Sisaisa. Hooray! Many of them still stand in the middle of the desert, though little known and visited, making them one of the best kept archaeological secrets in the world.
Number 9.
Did you know there is a fish so big and strange that it seems straight out of a science fiction movie? It's called the sunfish or mola mola, and it is one of the heaviest bony fish on the planet. The sunfish can reach over 3 meters in length and weigh up to 2,300 kilograms. Despite its size, it has a flat, round, tailless body, giving it that unmistakable shape like a large moon floating in the sea. It mainly feeds on jellyfish, although it also eats small fish and algae. The most curious thing is that it spends a lot of time near the surface, lying on its side, sunbathing. This behavior helps it regulate its temperature after diving into deep, cold waters. The sunfish inhabits temperate and tropical oceans around the world, and despite its clumsy appearance, it can dive to more than 600 meters deep. Additionally, it can lay up to 300 million eggs, more than any other known vertebrate.
Number 10.
Did you know there is an eagle so large and powerful that it can carry off a monkey or even an entire sloth with its claws? Let me introduce you to the harpy eagle, one of the most impressive predatory birds on the planet. It lives in the rainforests of Central and South America and can reach more than 2 meters in wingspan with its wings open. But the most surprising are its claws, which can measure almost the same size as those of a grizzly bear and exert a force capable of breaking bones. Unlike other eagles, the harpy does not fly very high. It moves among the trees hunting monkeys, sloths, and other large prey with brutal precision. Its appearance is also unique. A kind of crown of feathers on its head that gives it a majestic air, almost like a mythological creature. They don't call her the queen of the tropical sky for nothing. One look at this bird is enough to understand why even the largest animals prefer not to cross her path.
Number 11.
Did you know you could receive a huge fine just for chewing gum? In Singapore, chewing gum is not just a habit, it's practically a crime. Since 1992, the country banned the sale and import of chewing gum, aiming to keep the streets and public transport spotless, as people used to stick it on seats, locks, and even subway sensors. But in 2004, the government made a small exception. Chewing gum is allowed with a medical prescription, specifically for therapeutic purposes, such as helping to quit smoking or improving dental health. However, if you are caught selling or bringing gum into the country without a permission, you could face very high fines or even prison. So you know, if you visit Singapore, better put away your gum before landing. It's time to support the channel. Leave your like, comment, and subscribe. Now, let's continue.
Number 12.
Did you know there is a chicken with such an extravagant hairstyle that it looks like it came straight from a fashion runway? It's the Polish chicken, famous for its large crest of feathers that covers almost its entire head. Although many think it comes from Poland, its real origin could be in the Netherlands or Italy. It is an ornamental breed, bred more for its beauty than for its egg production, although it lays between 120 and 150 white eggs a year. Today, it is one of the most popular breeds in poultry shows and is also kept as a pet in many countries due to its friendly and curious nature. In the market, pure Polish chickens can reach high prices, especially those with rare colors or perfect plumage, highly sought after by collectors and hobby farmers. In short, the Polish hen not only lays eggs, but also brings style, elegance, and a lot of value to the coop.
Number 13.
Can you imagine a city without cars, without streets, and extending in a straight line for more than 170 kilometers? That is exactly what Saudi Arabia is building as part of its ambitious Enayom plan, a futuristic mega initiative valued at more than $500 billion. The project is part of the Saudi Vision 2030, a strategy to move away from oil dependency and transform the country into a hub of innovation, tourism, and sustainability. Among the most impressive projects is The Line, a linear city where millions of people will live in a futuristic glass structure without cars or emissions. Trochena, a ski resort in the middle of the desert, where international events and the Asian Winter Games 2029 will be held. And Oxagon, a gigantic floating industrial city designed for the economy of the future. Saudi Arabia is not only building cities, it is reinventing the very concept of modern civilization, all in the middle of the desert.
Number 14.
What if I told you there is a chameleon so small it could comfortably sleep on the head of a match? The nano chameleon Brucasia nana discovered in Madagascar is the smallest chameleon in the world. The famous Salt Bae, whose real name is Nusret Gokce, went from being an internet sensation to building a global empire of luxury restaurants under the name Nusret. However, his success began to crumble. Asiaus, Dariau, Asiantasi Pasia. Its discovery surprised scientists, as it demonstrates how evolution can lead to incredible extremes in isolated places like Madagascar. Additionally, several former employees have reported poor working conditions and an environment controlled down to the smallest detail by the chef himself. Social media has also contributed to his downfall, filling up with reviews and videos that expose the difference between the show and reality. As Salt Bae went from being the king of salt to becoming a reminder that viral fame can fade as quickly as his pretzel.
Number 15.
Did you know that some wind turbines are as large as a skyscraper? Literally, they can be the size of a building with more than 60 floors. Modern wind turbines are true giants of engineering. Those installed on land can reach up to 120 meters in height, and their blades measure more than 60 meters each, almost like a Boeing 747 airplane. Tuidoktas. But the most impressive are the marine turbines, which exceed 180 meters in height and generate enough energy to power thousands of homes with just one complete turn. Additionally, these turbines are key in the transition to clean energy, reducing emissions and helping to combat climate change.
Number 16.
Did you know there is a volcano that burns with blue fire in the dark? It's not science fiction, it's Mount Ijen in Indonesia. Mount Ijen, located in East Java, Indonesia, is an active volcano famous for its bright turquoise lagoon, which is one of the most acidic in the world. This lake can reach acidity level so high that it would dissolve metal if it fell in. But the most impressive thing happens at night: the blue flames that emerge from the crater. This phenomenon occurs because the sulfur gases coming from the volcano ignite upon contact with the air, creating a natural spectacle that seems taken from another planet.
Number 17.
Have you ever wondered why doctors tap syringes before injecting medication? When doctors or nurses gently tap the syringe, they do it to remove air bubbles that may be trapped inside. These bubbles, if they enter the bloodstream, could cause serious problems, like an embolism, although in small doses, they are usually harmless. Additionally, by doing this, they ensure that there is only liquid in the needle, guaranteeing that the medication is administered accurately and safely. After tapping it, they usually expel a drop of the medication to confirm that everything is ready. So the next time you see a doctor tapping a syringe, remember, they don't do it out of habit, they do it to save lives.
Number 18.
Did you know there is an animal in the jungle that works as the gardener and architect of the forest, and you have probably never heard its name? It is the Amazonian tapir, a mammal that plays a fundamental role in the balance of the jungle. This animal feeds on fruits, leaves, and seeds, and then disperses them through its feces, helping new trees and plants grow in different areas of the forest. Additionally, due to its size and strength, the tapir creates natural paths in the jungle, facilitating the passage of other species. It is so important for the ecosystem that many scientists call it the gardener of the Amazon. Unfortunately, the Amazonian tapir is threatened by hunting and deforestation, but protecting it means protecting the entire jungle. Mietares.
Number 19.
Did you know there is a dog whose bite can break bones like dry branches? That dog is the Turkish Kangal, also known as the Anatolian Shepherd, and it has the most powerful bite in the canine world, with a force of up to 743 psi pounds per square inch. Originally from Turkey, the Kangal was bred to protect herds from wolves, bears, and other predators. That is why it has a perfect mix of strength, bravery, and loyalty. Despite its power, it is a calm and protective dog with its family, as long as it is well trained. If you ever hear about the Kangal, remember that it is not just a dog, it is a true protective beast.
Number 20.
What if I told you there's a phone that's shaking up the very iPhone 17? The Xiaomi 17 Pro Max is causing a stir with its futuristic design and impressive power. Its nearly borderless screen and camera developed with Leica produce photos that look like they were taken with a professional camera. Additionally, it has a rear screen that shows notifications or functions as a smart mirror, something even the iPhone doesn't offer. Its battery lasts longer, charges very quickly, and best of all, it costs almost half of the iPhone 17 Pro Max, despite offering equal or even superior performance. To give you an idea, the iPhone 17 Pro Max with 256GB costs around 6,999,000 Colombian pesos. While the Xiaomi 17 Pro Max with 1TB is around 4,059,420 pesos. Could this be the moment when Xiaomi finally dethrones Apple?
Number 1.
Did you know there's a real unicorn living in the depths of the Arctic? The narwhal, known as the unicorn of the sea, is an impressive creature that inhabits the cold waters of Greenland and Canada. Its famous horn isn't actually a horn. It's a tooth that can grow up to 3 meters long. What's even more surprising is that this tusk is full of nerve endings, allowing it to detect changes in the water, such as temperature or salinity. On top of that, scientists still don't know for sure why it exists. Some believe they use it to attract mates, others think it's used for fighting or exploring their environment. And the most mysterious part? Some narwhals can have 2 tusks, something extremely rare that seems straight out of a marine myth. A true unicorn of the ocean, but far more real than you'd imagine.
Number 2.
Would you dare to descend into a giant abyss beneath the earth? This is Gaping Gale, a spectacular cave in the Yorkshire Dales National Park in England. What's most impressive is its enormous underground chamber, one of the largest in Great Britain, astonishing in size and mystery. Public descent is only allowed twice a year, using a winch that slowly lowers adventurers into the depths. Inside, visitors experience the feeling of being in another world, surrounded by giant stalactites and echoes that seem infinite. This cave has fascinated speleologists for decades and continues to be a place where the earth reveals its most hidden secrets. An adventure underground that proves the greatest mysteries aren't always in the sky. Sometimes they're right beneath your feet.
Number 3.
Did you know there's a primate whose eyes are bigger than its own brain? This is the tarsier, tiny unique primates that live in the Philippines. Their enormous eyes let them see even in the darkness of night, while their neck allows them to turn their head almost 180 degrees, almost like owls. Unlike most primates, they are carnivores, feeding mainly on insects, birds, and small reptiles. Their size can be deceiving because although they look fragile, they are highly efficient nocturnal hunters. And their way of jumping between trees is so precise, it looks like teleportation. A small primate that proves being tiny doesn't make you any less impressive.
Number 5.
Can you imagine your parents going to the park to find you a partner? In Shanghai, there's a place called the Marriage Market in People's Park, where parents and grandparents gather on weekends to search for partners for their single children. They show up with signs containing detailed information: age, height, education, income, and even hobbies, like human resume sheets. This phenomenon blends tradition with modern culture, showing how family still plays a central role in romantic life in China. The atmosphere is noisy and full of conversations, negotiations, and marital advice, almost like a marketplace of romantic opportunities.
Number 5.
Imagine living in a world where you can change gender depending on group dynamics. The clownfish has an amazing secret. It can change from male to female, a process called sequential hermaphroditism. This happens when the dominant female disappears and then the largest male in the group transforms into the new female leader, ensuring the community keeps functioning perfectly. This change involves physical, hormonal, and behavioral adaptations. These fish have very strict hierarchies, live in anemones for protection, and their relationships are so solid that even males help care for the eggs of the new female. So now you know, in the world of clownfish, gender isn't written in genetics, but in the power of the group and everyone's survival. Number 6. Can you imagine a single bite of honey altering your mind? In Nepal, there exists the famous mad honey, a reddish dark honey. What makes it so dangerous is that it contains granotoxin, a natural neurotoxin that can cause dizziness, vomiting, and even hallucinations. It's collected from hives of bees that feed on certain species of rhododendron flowers, and traditionally, warriors used small doses to increase bravery and endurance. But be careful, too much can be lethal. This honey has centuries of history in local medicine and shamanic rituals, and today it still attracts tourists and adventurers willing to try it at their own risk. A sweet temptation that can turn your world upside down in seconds. Would you dare taste it? Number 7. Can you imagine going to the bathroom and finding yourself surrounded by incredible art? Yes, it exists. It's called Pop and Roll Art Toilet, located in Budapest. This public restroom was transformed into a neo-pop art gallery by Hungarian artist Miklos Kiss, turning an everyday place into a unique visual experience. What's surprising is that every wall and detail is decorated with vibrant colors, extravagant figures, and pop elements, making using it feel like entering an interactive museum. This initiative aims to fuse art with everyday life, proving that art can appear in the most unexpected places. Number 8. Do you want to see a place where the water shines as if it were magical? This is the Blue Grotto in Capri, Italy, a sea cave famous for its dazzling blue light. This magical effect occurs because sunlight enters through an underwater opening, illuminating the water with an intense, unreal blue. Access is through a small entrance that requires visitors to lie down in a rowboat, and entry depends on sea conditions. Entrance to the grotto has an additional cost of 18 euros per person. This cave is not only a visual marvel, it also has a fascinating history. In ancient times, it was used by Emperor Tiberius as a place of retreat and leisure. Today, thousands of tourists arrive in small boats to experience this unique phenomenon and feel the magic of nature combined with history. Number 9. Did you know France is practically a living museum full of castles? France is the country with the most castles in the world, with approximately 45,000 spread across its territory. From imposing medieval fortresses to Renaissance palaces full of history and legends, these castles not only showcase architecture and art, each one hides secrets, passageways, and mysteries that surprise even historians. Many are open to the public, some converted into hotels, museums, or event locations, allowing visitors to experience life among centuries-old walls. They also appear in fairy tales, movies, and video games, inspiring imaginations worldwide. So if you love history and majesty, France is your perfect destination to explore endless castles. Number 10. Did you know there's an animal so strange it looks like a mix between a mouse and an elephant? It's the elephant shrew, Macrocelidia, a small African mammal with an elongated snout that resembles an elephant's trunk, used to smell and catch insects. Despite their curious appearance, they're fast, agile, and have impressive reflexes. Though they seem harmless, they have sharp teeth and a varied diet: insects, small invertebrates, and even fruit. Their high metabolism forces them to eat constantly to survive. Their appearance and behavior make them one of the strangest and most fascinating mammals on the planet, almost like something out of a fantasy story. So if you thought you'd seen everything in the animal kingdom, the elephant shrew shows nature always has surprises. It's time to support the channel. Leave your like, comment, and subscribe. Now, let's continue. Number 11. Can you imagine finding a frog that looks like it came straight out of a horror movie? The so-called xenomorph frog isn't real, even though it looks like it. It's a sculpture created by Chinese artist Li Changchun in 2018, combining the anatomy of a frog with the terrifying features of the xenomorph from the Alien franchise. Its elongated head, menacing posture, and hyper-realistic details make many people mistake it for a living creature. This creation plays with perception, generating wonder, fear, and confusion, and it makes people question where nature ends and art begins. The work has circulated on social media and exhibitions, leaving viewers wondering whether what they're seeing is real or fictional, and making it a viral phenomenon thanks to its extreme realism. Number 12. Did you know chewing gum can keep you from crying like a baby while cutting onions? Yes, it's true. When you chew gum, you breathe through your mouth instead of your nose, reducing the inhalation of the irritating compounds released by onions that make your eyes tear up. This simple home trick can be very effective for many people, preventing tears and burning sensations while cooking. Interestingly, this trick has been passed down through generations, and although it doesn't work the same for everyone, many chefs and cooking enthusiasts recommend it. Plus, chewing activates saliva and keeps your mouth busy, making the process easier. So next time you cut onions, grab a piece of gum and say goodbye to tears. Number 13. Get ready to meet the most elegant killer in the insect kingdom. This is the orchid mantis, a species of praying mantis capable of camouflaging itself as an orchid flower. Its body imitates petals, colors, and textures with such perfection that prey doesn't suspect a thing. This strategy makes it a master predator, trapping pollinators like butterflies and flies that approach thinking it's a flower. Its movement is so slow and delicate it looks like it's dancing among flowers, and its camouflage is so realistic that even the most attentive predators may pass it by. So if you ever thought nature was only beautiful, the orchid mantis shows beauty and danger can go hand in hand. Number 14. Did you know that in the United States you can save 2 cats with a single decision? If your cat needs a kidney transplant, you can request that the organ come from a stray cat, with the condition that you adopt it. This means you not only save your cat's life, but also give a homeless cat a second chance. This procedure combines advanced veterinary medicine with a humanitarian action, showing how science and compassion can go hand in hand. The process requires thorough exams to ensure compatibility and the health of both cats, making it an example of love and responsibility toward animals. Number 15. Did you know walking barefoot could change your health and your mood? This practice is called grounding or earthing, and it consists of electrically connecting yourself with the earth through your feet. Walking on soil, grass, or sand allows you to absorb electrons that neutralize the positive charges accumulated in your body. The benefits are surprising. It strengthens the feet and balance, reduces stress and inflammation, improves sleep, and stimulates the nervous system. Some studies even suggest this simple action can improve both physical and mental well-being, almost like a natural recharge from the earth. So now you know, being barefoot is not only comfortable, it's good for your body and mind. Number 16. Did you know dogs don't sweat like you? Unlike humans who sweat through our entire body, dogs only have sweat glands in their paw pads and nose. Their main way to cool down is by panting, which lets water in their tongue and lungs evaporate, lowering their body temperature. That's why if a dog is very hot, you shouldn't rub it or soak it all over. Instead, help it cool down with shade, water, and ventilation. This mechanism also explains why dogs can get tired faster on hot days, even without running much. So now you know that panting isn't just adorable, it's their natural air conditioning system. Number 17. Imagine being born with a look so unique it seems from another world. Amina Ependieva, an 11-year-old girl from Chechnya, was born with albinism and heterochromia, 2 uncommon genetic conditions. Albinism causes a lack of pigment in skin, hair, and eyes, giving her a pale, striking appearance. Heterochromia makes her eyes different colors, one blue and one brown, a trait very few people have. This combination not only makes her visually and genetically special, but it has also drawn the attention of media and people around the world for her extraordinary beauty. Sometimes nature creates true living works of art, and Amina is an impressive example. Number 18. Forget about needles. In the 1960s, doctors had a next-level method for injecting medicines. It was called the jet injector, and it worked through high speed and pressure, shooting medicine directly into the skin without a needle. This method allowed vaccines and medications to be applied quickly, reducing the risk of needle contamination and speeding up mass treatments. However, the pressure could cause bruising and pain, making it controversial, and it was eventually replaced by modern needles. Even today, this device is remembered as an impressive medical curiosity and something futuristic for its time. Number 19. Imagine a place on Earth that was born out of nothing. The youngest island on the planet exists and is still almost completely untouched. It's called Surtsey, and it appeared between 1963 and 1967 after a submarine volcanic eruption off the coast of Iceland. The incredible thing is that nobody can freely step on it. It's a protected natural laboratory. Scientists study how plants, insects, and birds colonize entirely new land without humans altering its evolution. It's like watching life emerge from zero, a spectacle of nature that only happens once every century. Number 20. Leonardo da Vinci didn't just paint the Mona Lisa, he also built robots. In 1495, Da Vinci designed a humanoid robot called the Mechanical Knight or Automata Cavaliere. Based on his deep knowledge of anatomy and mechanics, he created a design with gears and pulleys that allowed it to sit, stand, and move its arms and head. Although it was never fully built in his time, modern studies have managed to recreate it from his sketches, showing just how advanced and visionary Da Vinci truly was. So now you know, Leonardo didn't just dream of art, he dreamed of robots centuries before they existed.
Number 1.
Can you imagine a war where the weapons aren't bullets or stones, but cow dung? This actually happens in India during a festival called the Pidakala War. It's a Hindu tradition where hundreds of people throw cow dung at each other as a symbol of purification and good luck. The festival takes place in the state of Andhra Pradesh, and it's believed to strengthen community bonds and attract blessings. As strange as it may seem, for many people this is a sacred act filled with spiritual energy and cultural meaning. So now you know. In India, even a war can be seen as a symbol of unity and good fortune.
Number 2.
Did you know that the iconic theme song of El Chavo del Ocho actually comes from classical music? Many people believe it was created specifically for the show, but its melody is based on a composition by Ludwig van Beethoven known as the Turkish March. The version we all recognize today isn't the original one. It was adapted by French musician Jean-Jacques Perret, who turned it into an electronic piece called The Elephant Never Forgets. Years later, Roberto Gómez Bolaños chose it as the main theme for El Chavo del Ocho, without realizing it would become one of the most recognizable melodies in all of Latin America. But here's the surprising part. For decades, the song was used without authorization in El Chavo del Ocho and other Chespirito shows. In 2010, Jean-Jacques Perret's heirs sued Televisa for unauthorized use of the music. Eventually, the case was settled out of court, with Televisa acknowledging the improper use and paying financial compensation to the composer's heirs.
Number 3.
Did you know the largest museum in the world, dedicated to a single civilization, has just opened right next to the pyramids? It's the Grand Egyptian Museum, GM, in Cairo, inaugurated on November 1st, 2025, and opened to the public on November 4th. Oh, explore! The museum is located next to the famous Giza pyramids and houses over 100,000 artifacts, including, for the first time ever, the complete collection of Tutankhamun in one place, more than 5,000 pieces. At the entrance, visitors are welcomed by a massive 80-ton statue of Ramses II. The building was designed to maximize natural light, use local materials, and conserve water and energy. A museum of the past, built for the future. Ancient Egypt is no longer hidden. It's here, massive, modern, and glorious, ready for you to explore.
Number 5.
Did you know there's a floating neighborhood built entirely on water, and it's so dangerous that even the police avoid entering it? It's called Makoko, and it's located in Lagos, Nigeria. This community is made up of wooden houses built on stilts, where thousands of people live without access to clean water, electricity, or basic services. The water is so polluted that it's used for bathing, cooking, and fishing. The area is also controlled by gangs and local pirates, making it one of the most dangerous and forgotten places on Earth. A neighborhood that floats on water, yet sinks deeper every day into poverty, fear, and survival.
Number 5.
Did you know the largest cylindrical aquarium in the world suddenly exploded inside a hotel? It was called Aquadome, located in Berlin, Germany. The aquarium was 16 meters tall and held over 1 million liters of water, with around 1,500 tropical fish swimming inside. Its most impressive feature was a transparent elevator that allowed visitors to ride through the center of the tank. In December 2022, a structural failure caused the aquarium to burst completely, releasing massive amounts of water that flooded the hotel and nearby streets. Fortunately, most people were unharmed, but sadly, nearly all of the fish died. An aquarium that once amazed the world.
Number 6.
Have you ever wondered how a submarine, weighing hundreds of tons, can sink and then rise back to the surface so easily? The secret lies in its ballast tanks. These tanks are located along the outer hull, mainly at the front, bow, and rear, stern, and sometimes on the sides to maintain balance. When the submarine wants to dive, the tanks fill with seawater, increasing its weight and causing it to sink. When it needs to surface, the water is expelled and replaced with compressed air, making the submarine lighter so it can rise again. It's a perfect combination of physics and precision, all controlled from inside by the submarine's engineers. That's how a massive steel machine defies gravity and moves beneath the ocean, as if the sea were its second home.
Number 7.
Did you know radiation is being used to save rhinos from illegal trafficking? It sounds crazy, but it's real. It's called the Rhizotope Project. Rhino horns are injected with radioactive isotopes. This doesn't harm the animals, but it allows the horns to be detected instantly at airports and ports using radiation scanners. The project was developed by the University of Witwatersrand in South Africa, with support from the International Atomic Energy Agency. Its goal is to make horn trafficking nearly impossible, since any attempt would be immediately exposed, using radiation not to destroy, but to protect a species on the brink of extinction. Number 8. Would you dare to break a piece of glass knowing there's $3 million in cash behind it? In 2005, 3M launched an epic advertising campaign in Vancouver. They placed $3 million in cash inside a reinforced glass display protected by the security film. Only the front bills were real. The challenge was simple. If anyone could break the glass, they could keep the money. Thousands tried, punching, kicking, even using tools. But no one succeeded. It became one of the most iconic and viral advertising campaigns ever. Because sometimes, the best advertising isn't explained. It's proven. Number 9. Did you know there's an animal with a pig-like snout, a lizard-like tongue, and teeth that never stop growing? That animal is the aardvark, a strange African creature so unique that it has no close living relatives. It's the only member of its own order, Tubulidentata. Even though it looks similar to an anteater, it's actually more closely related to elephants and manatees. It has a sticky tongue that can reach up to 30 centimeters long, perfect for catching ants and termites, and it can close its nostrils to avoid breathing in dust while digging. But the strangest part is its teeth. They have no enamel and grow continuously, something almost unheard of among mammals. It's nocturnal, digs massive tunnels, and has incredibly sharp hearing that allows it to detect insects underground. A true living fossil that looks like something nature invented just for fun. But yes, it's real. Number 10. Did you know there are rabbits that live in the ocean? Well, they're not actually rabbits, but sea slugs known as sea bunnies or Joruna parva. These tiny creatures, barely 2 centimeters long, became famous for their adorable appearance. They have 2 antenna-like structures on their heads called rhinophores that look like little ears and rear gills that resemble a bunny's tail. They live in the Indo-Pacific Ocean and their bodies are covered in small bumps that make them look fuzzy. But don't be fooled by their cuteness. They're toxic predators that feed on sea sponges and small crustaceans. Even more fascinating, scientists discovered that the color of these sea bunnies can change depending on the type of sponge they eat. They literally change color based on their diet. It's time to support the channel. Leave your like, comment, and subscribe. Now, let's continue. Number 11. Did you know Japanese police still use a tool inspired by samurai weapons? It's called a sasumata, and even though it sounds ancient, it's very real and still used today. Originally, it was a weapon used by samurai to capture criminals without killing them. Today, Japanese police have modernized it using lightweight materials and padded blunt tips to prevent injuries. The sasumata is used to restrain suspects from a safe distance and is also employed by riot police for non-lethal crowd control. A perfect example of how Japan blends tradition and technology, even in law enforcement. Number 12. Did you know there's a smartphone so advanced it feels like it came straight from the future? Meet the Vivo X300 Pro, a device that's redefining what a high-end smartphone really means. Imagine a phone capable of capturing the night sky with telescope-like clarity, thanks to its 200-megapixel periscope camera. Yes, you can photograph the moon, record in 8K, and zoom in without losing detail. Its curved AMOLED display is so sharp it feels like a window to the world. Perfect for gamers, movie lovers, and content creators. And the best part? The X300 Pro is resistant to water, dust, and even accidental drops. Its ultra-fast battery can charge in just minutes. It also includes features like air gesture controls, real-time AI translation, and an astronomy mode for stargazers. Priced around $1,200, it comes with a magnetic case, a super-fast charger, and earbuds that rival AirPods. In short, the Vivo X300 Pro isn't just a phone, it's a piece of engineering built for people who want the absolute best. A device so powerful it makes you feel like the future has already arrived and fits right in your hand. Number 13. It looks like a mountain straight out of a sci-fi movie, but it's real. This is Devil's Tower, one of the most mysterious natural monuments in the United States. Located in Wyoming, it formed around 50 million years ago. It's a massive column of volcanic rock that rises more than 260 meters above the ground, with walls so smooth they look carved by humans. But its shape and name are surrounded by legends. For Native American tribes, it's a sacred site. According to an ancient story, young girls were chased by giant bears, and the gods caused the rock to rise beneath them to save their lives. The vertical grooves are said to be the claw marks left by the bears as they tried to climb it. Geologically, scientists believe it formed when molten magma cooled slowly underground, creating its famous hexagonal columns. Today, it's a national monument and one of the most mysterious places on Earth. Do you think its perfect shape was created purely by nature or something else? Number 14. Did you know there's a technique so powerful it's bringing deserts back to life? It's called the half-moon technique, also known as Earth Smiles. It's an incredibly simple but effective way to restore dry, degraded ecosystems. The method involves digging small semicircular pits in the ground that trap rainwater and retain moisture, allowing vegetation to grow again. This technique is being used in arid regions of Africa, where local tribes are restoring land once thought completely lost. Areas that are home to more than 60% of the region's wildlife. In the middle of the desert, the earth smiles and life returns. Number 15. Did you know the largest amethyst in the world isn't in a museum, but was discovered underground in Uruguay? It's called the Empress of Uruguay, a giant amethyst geode discovered in 2007. It stands 3.27 meters tall, weighs 2.5 tons, and its interior is completely covered in deep purple crystals that look like something out of a fantasy world. It was found by miners in the Artigas region, an area famous for its gemstones, and today it's considered a one-of-a-kind natural treasure. Its size and perfection are so impressive that many people call it the Queen of Amethysts, treasure hidden for millions of years, finally revealing the purple heart of the earth. Number 16. At first glance, it looks like just a giant sphere. But inside, things happen that very few people would ever imagine. It's called the Sphere, and it's the largest spherical building in the world. It was created to become the new icon of entertainment, with an exterior LED screen covering over 54,000 square meters, visible from almost anywhere in the city. But what's truly mind-blowing is inside. It features a 16K wraparound screen and a sound system so advanced that each seat can hear something different at the same time, without headphones. That means you could be watching a movie in Spanish, while the person next to you hears it in English, at the exact same time and with no interference. The Sphere was built to host concerts, screenings, and immersive experiences that literally make you feel like you're inside the show. The Las Vegas Sphere isn't just a building, it's the future of entertainment made real. Number 17. Did you know that orange pumpkins weren't always the symbol of Halloween? The origins of Halloween come from an ancient Celtic festival called Samhain, celebrated over 2,000 years ago in Ireland to mark the end of the harvest and the beginning of winter, a time they believed connected the world of the living with the world of the dead. Back then, people didn't use pumpkins. Instead, they carved turnips and beets with faces to scare away evil spirits. But when Irish immigrants arrived in the United States, they discovered that pumpkins were bigger, easier to carve, and far more abundant, so they started using them instead. And that's how the orange pumpkin became the most iconic symbol of Halloween, a tradition that today generates billions of dollars in costumes, candy, and decorations. Did you know it all started with a turnip? Number 18. Did you know there are places in the world where the sun never sets and daytime lasts 24 hours straight? This happens in regions within the Arctic Circle during summer, in a phenomenon known as the midnight sun. In places like Norway, Finland, Sweden, Russia, Greenland, Canada, and Alaska, the sun stays visible all day long, even at midnight. People can go for walks, exercise, or even go fishing at 2 a.m. under full sunlight. But what's even more incredible is that during winter, the opposite happens. Some areas can go months without seeing the sun at all, living in complete darkness. Imagine living where the day never ends. Would you enjoy 24 hours of sunlight, or would you rather experience eternal night? Number 19. It looks like a movie character, but it's real. This monkey has golden fur, lives in the snow, and has a completely blue face. It's called the golden snub-nosed monkey, Rhinopithecus roxellana, and it lives in the snowy mountains of China at altitudes over 3,000 meters. What's most surprising is its blue skin, which isn't caused by pigments, but by the way light reflects off layers of collagen in its skin, the same optical effect that makes the sky appear blue. Its golden fur and tiny nose help it survive extreme cold, and it lives in large groups of up to 600 monkeys. Sadly, despite its beauty, it's endangered due to deforestation and illegal hunting, an animal so strange and beautiful that it feels out of this world. Did you ever imagine a monkey with a blue face actually existed? Number 20. It looks like a giant worm, but it's actually a pink lizard with only 2 legs that lives underground in Mexico. Its name is Bipes biporus, better known as the Mexican mole lizard, and it's one of the strangest creatures on Earth. Although it may look like a snake or a worm at first glance, it actually belongs to the lizard family. What makes it truly unique is that it has only 2 front legs, which it uses to dig tunnels underground in search of food. It lives in northwestern Mexico, measures between 15 and 25 centimeters, and has pale pink skin since it spends almost its entire life beneath the surface. It's not venomous or dangerous, and it feeds on insects, worms, larvae, and other small underground animals. It also has the incredible ability to regrow its tail if it loses it. Despite its strange appearance, it can live 10 to 20 years in the wild, and it usually comes to the surface only after heavy rainfall. A creature so mysterious and unique that it feels straight out of a sci-fi movie. Did you know Mexico is home to a lizard with only 2 legs?
Number 1.
Did you know there's a man in Uganda who has 102 children? His name is Musa Hasahia Kesera, and his family is so massive it feels less like a household and more like a small town. He has 12 wives and over 578 grandchildren. Polygamy is legal in Uganda, and for many years, Kesera believed that having many children was a symbol of wealth, status, and respect. So his family kept growing and growing, to the point where even he has admitted that he can no longer remember all of his children's names. What once felt like pride eventually turned into an overwhelming challenge. Feeding more than 100 children, paying for school, clothing, and daily necessities became financially impossible. He has openly said that he can no longer support such a large family and is now trying to stop expanding it because the situation spiraled beyond his control. It sounds almost like folklore, but it's completely real, and it's still happening today.
Number 2.
Did you know that Michael Jackson had to negotiate with criminal leaders just to film one of his music videos? But there was one major obstacle. The area was entirely controlled by local criminal leaders. To enter with cameras, dancers, production crews, and equipment, he had to ask for their direct permission. The negotiation was crucial. If they had refused, the music video simply wouldn't have existed. Their influence was so strong that even Michael Jackson, arguably the most famous artist in the world at that time, couldn't film there without speaking to them first. In the end, they agreed. He filmed both in the favela and later in Pelourinho, the historic district of Salvador. The result was a historic video, one of his most powerful choreographies, and one of the most dangerous shoots of his entire career.
Number 3.
A fish that can leave the water, walk on land, and survive up to 18 hours without suffocating. Sounds fake, but it's real. It's the armored catfish, a South American fish covered in bony plates that make it look like a tiny aquatic tank. It's peaceful, social, and popular in aquariums, but its real trick is how it survives. Unlike most fish, it can breathe air thanks to an internal organ similar to a lung. This allows it to stay out of water much longer than normal, and when its spawn dries up, it uses its rigid pectoral fins to literally walk across land searching for a better place. Only 2 species can do this, the armored catfish and the walking catfish, a fish that walks, breathes air, and survives on land. Nature always has another trick up its sleeve.
Number 5.
Can you imagine living in a house 50 meters above the ground, almost as tall as a 15-story building, and built only with wood and leaves? The Korowai, in the jungles of West Papua, Indonesia, build their homes in the tops of trees, usually more than 30 meters high, and some reach 45 to 50 meters. The reason? Total protection. From up there, they stay safe from enemy clans, wild animals, snakes, and mosquitoes. It also protects them from floods and evil spirits, according to their beliefs. These houses are built with completely traditional engineering, a massive wooden central pole, bamboo, vines, and leaves. No machinery, no modern tools, just skill and tradition. Living high above the ground to survive in the jungle. That's the incredible life of the Korowai people.
Number 5.
Would you climb 999 steps to reach a place that the Chinese consider a portal to heaven? Because in China, that portal actually exists. In Tianmen Mountain National Park in Hunan, you'll find the famous Stairway to Heaven. It's a staircase of 999 stone steps that leads to a gigantic natural arch called Tianmen Cave, standing 131 meters high and 57 meters wide, formed entirely by natural erosion. And the number 9 isn't random. In Chinese culture, it symbolizes good fortune and eternity, which is why climbing these steps feels like a true pilgrimage. For many people, this arch is a sacred place, a point where, according to local beliefs, the mortal world connects with the heavens. 999 steps, a colossal natural arch, and a mystical portal. This is the legendary Gate of Heaven.
Number 6.
Did you know Brazil just built a statue so massive, it's even taller than Christ the Redeemer? In Crato, Ceará, a gigantic statue of Our Lady of Fatima was erected, now considered the tallest statue in the world dedicated to this figure. It stands 54 meters tall, far surpassing the 38 meters of Christ the Redeemer in Rio. The structure is mainly made of reinforced concrete and steel, materials used in megastructures to withstand wind, weather, and time. The project has 2 main goals: strengthen religious devotion in the region, where faith is very strong, attract religious tourism, bringing pilgrims from all over and boosting the local economy. Today, the statue has already become a new landmark visible from miles away. Faith, tourism, and colossal engineering. That's how the tallest statue of the Virgin Mary in the world was born.
Number 7.
Did you know there's a gas station so huge it looks like a shopping mall? And it has more bathrooms than many airports? It's called Buc-ee's, located in Luling, Texas. It's officially the largest gas station in the world, covering nearly 7,000 square meters. It has 120 fuel pumps, EV charging stations, and a store so big it feels like a full supermarket. You can find almost anything here: clothes, decorations, snacks, jerky, barbecue products, and freshly made food. Their most famous dish is the brisket sandwich, which people drive miles just to try. And here's the crazy part. It has 84 restrooms, famous for being extremely clean. There are also ice machines and even car wash tunnels. But there's one unusual rule. 18-wheel trucks are not allowed to keep the area safe for regular cars and pedestrians. Buc-ee's isn't just a gas station. It's a must-stop destination that turns a normal road trip into a massive experience. Number 8. Did you know the real-life house that inspired Up also resisted millions of dollars and never moved an inch? The story behind the movie Up has an incredible real-life parallel thanks to Edith Macefield, a woman in her 80s who lived in a small house called Whitewood Cottage in Ballard, Seattle, Washington. In the early 2000s, developers wanted to build a huge commercial project around her home and offered her up to $1 million to move, but Edith refused every offer. Her decision turned her small house into a symbol of resistance and emotional attachment against gentrification. Pixar never confirmed it 100%, but the similarity with Up is striking, an elderly person refusing to sell their home while the city grows around it. After Edith passed away in 2008, her story touched so many people that fans began placing balloons on the house as a tribute to the movie, keeping her memory alive. A humble house, a brave woman, and an unshakable decision, enough to inspire one of Disney/Pixar's most emotional films. Would you have held on to your home the same way? Number 9. Did you know there's a theater so luxurious it looks like something out of a fairy tale? And it even inspired the Phantom of the Opera? It's called the Palais Garnier, or Opéra Garnier, and it's one of the most impressive architectural masterpieces in all of France. It was built during the Second French Empire, and its style is an extraordinary mix known as eclectic neo-baroque. We're talking giant columns, golden sculptures, painted ceilings, and marble everywhere. Nothing here is simple. Everything is luxury, art, and pure extravagance. Inside, it feels like a palace. Monumental staircases, massive chandeliers, and a grand hall that shines as if it were covered in gold. And from the outside, it stands as a symbol of power, wealth, and the prestige France had at that time. That's why it's considered one of the most beautiful, important, and famous theaters in the world. The Opéra Garnier isn't just a theater. It's a reminder of how a civilization tried to immortalize its greatness in stone, art, and light. Number 10. Did you know humanity almost destroyed one of the most beautiful and protected islands in the world? This happened at Kelingking Beach, on the island of Nusa Penida, Indonesia, a place famous for its T-Rex-shaped cliff, often considered one of the most beautiful beaches on Earth. But recently, authorities discovered that a glass elevator was being built directly on the cliff. The project risked damaging the rock formation, altering the natural landscape, and putting the entire area at risk. On top of that, the construction showed possible regulatory violations, questionable permits, poorly evaluated environmental impact, and structures that shouldn't exist in a protected area. Fortunately, the project was stopped, preventing one of Indonesia's most iconic landscapes from being destroyed by tourism-driven ambition. Kelingking Beach was saved, but it reminds us that even paradise needs someone to protect it. It's time to support the channel. Leave your like, comment, and subscribe. Now, let's continue. Number 11. Can you imagine a clock that doesn't just tell time, but puts on a mini show with mechanical animals? It's called the Peacock Clock, considered one of the rarest timepieces in the world. It was created in 1770 by James Cox and later purchased by Catherine the Great, Empress of all Russia. But this is no ordinary clock. It features a peacock that spreads its tail, an owl that blinks and moves its head, and a rooster that crows at the end. And that's not all. Around them you'll find squirrels, mushrooms, dragonflies, and a golden tree, all crafted from precious metals. The mechanisms are so complex that each animal works independently. To preserve it, the clock is only activated once a week. Today it still operates at the Hermitage Museum in Russia and is considered the only large 18th century automaton that has survived completely intact. A clock that doesn't just tell time, it puts on a show. Number 12. Imagine being 2 meters and 31 centimeters tall. So tall you could touch the rim without even jumping. In the history of the NBA, 2 men could literally look down on everyone else. The tallest players ever to step on an NBA court were Gheorghe Mureșan and Manute Bol, both officially standing 2.31 meters. But here's the interesting part. Even though they share the same record, each reached it in a very different way. Mureșan, born in Romania, had an incredibly imposing height but also surprising mobility for someone his size. He reached his full 2.31 meters during his NBA career and became famous for both his skills and his towering presence. Manute Bol, on the other hand, was a legendary figure from Sudan, so tall and incredibly thin that he almost seemed unreal. With extremely long arms and perfect timing, he became one of the best shot blockers in the league. In fact, there were seasons where ball recorded more blocked shots than points, a rare statistic that very few people know about. Seeing them on the court felt like watching real giants walking among elite athletes, yet still dominating their space. Two men, the same height, and a record that the NBA may never see matched again. Giants do exist, and these two proved it. Number 13. Can you imagine a spider web as big as a house, filled with more than 100,000 spiders living together? It actually exists, and it's hidden underground. In the Sulfur Cave, located between Greece and Albania, scientists discovered a massive web covering over 100 square meters. What makes it even stranger is that it's built by two species that normally never live together, Tegenaria domestica and Prinerigone vagans. This cave has no sunlight, the air is toxic, and the entire ecosystem depends on bacteria that convert sulfur into energy. Those extreme conditions force the spiders to do something never seen before, create a giant colony, like a hidden underground megacity, a dark, toxic world, and the perfect home for more than 100,000 spiders. Nature never stops surprising us. Number 14. Did you know there's a frog so tiny and so bright? It looks like a piece of the starry sky in miniature. It's not fantasy, it's real. It's called the galaxy frog, Melanobatrachus indicus. It measures only 2 to 3 centimeters, but its black skin covered in blue and yellow spots makes it look almost cosmic. It lives hidden among the leaf litter of the Western Ghats in India, one of the most biodiverse places on Earth. It's so elusive that almost no one has ever seen it. It doesn't even have eardrums or a vocal sac, which means it doesn't make sounds. It's a completely silent frog. Today it's endangered because its habitat is shrinking and its distribution is extremely limited. Small, silent, and shining like a galaxy. A living jewel the world could lose. Number 15. Can you imagine cooking without fire, gas, smoke, using only sunlight? In Mexico, hundreds of women are already doing it. In indigenous communities in Oaxaca, many women are replacing firewood with solar stoves. These stoves use reflective aluminum panels that concentrate sunlight and heat a pot without any flame at all. The impact is huge. They no longer breathe toxic smoke from wood fires. Forests are protected because less firewood is needed. CO2 emissions are reduced, and families save both time and money that used to go into gathering fuel. Thanks to this, groups known as solar cooks are improving their health, their economy, and the environment. Cooking with the sun, a simple, clean, and powerful solution that's changing lives. Number 16. Did you know that before modern clocks, people used candles to measure time? They were called candle clocks, and they were as simple as they were brilliant. The candles had markings that represented hours. As the flame slowly burned the wax, people could tell how much time had passed by looking at which mark had melted away. But here's the crazy part. They also had an alarm system. A small metal nail would be inserted into the candle at the desired time. When the wax melted down to that point, the nail would fall onto a metal plate and make a cling. This system was used in places like China around 520 AD and later in medieval Europe. Of course, its accuracy depended on the candle and the flame burning perfectly, which almost never happened. A simple piece of wax served for centuries as both the clock and the alarm guiding people's daily lives. Number 17. Did you know there's a snail with armor made of iron, like something straight out of a video game? It's called the volcano snail, Chrysomelon squamiferum, and it lives in one of the most extreme environments on Earth. The hydrothermal vents of the Indian Ocean, where water temperatures can exceed 300 degrees Celsius and pressure is immense. What makes it incredible is its shell. It has 3 layers, and the outer layer is made of iron sulfide. Yes, real iron. It's the only known animal in the world that incorporates iron into its skeleton, creating a natural armor that protects it from predators, extreme heat, and conditions that would kill almost any other creature. Its body even has metallic scales around its foot, like a full suit of armor, a snail surviving in an underwater hellscape. With metal armor, the ocean never stops amazing us. Number 18. Did you know that one of the biggest players in NBA history is also known as one of the kindest people in the world? We're talking about Shaquille O'Neal, a giant standing over 2.16 meters, 7 feet 1 inch tall, but with an even bigger heart. He's famous for performing acts of kindness in secret, buying things for strangers, paying for furniture, helping families in need, and always taking time to greet fans or take photos. That's why many people call him the kindest giant in the world. Pentapomas Parkumasaratas. His humility comes from his mother and stepfather, who taught him that no matter how much fame or money you have, you should never think you're better than anyone else, and you should always give something back to the community. Shaq took that lesson seriously, and today he's known as much for his generosity as for his size. In a world full of egos, Shaquille O'Neal proves that true greatness lies in how you treat others. Number 19. Did you know there are Olympics but not for sports for cleaning? It sounds crazy, but it's real. In the United States, especially in Las Vegas, hotels host an annual event called the Housekeeping Olympics. It's a competition where hotel workers compete in events that test speed, precision, and skill, all using cleaning tools. There are cat-pushing races, speed bed-making competitions, perfect towel folding challenges, toilet paper roll tossing, and even vacuuming contests. And it's no joke. Teams from major hotels compete, there are judges, medals, crowds, and plenty of pressure. The goal is to recognize the hard work of housekeeping teams, often the unsung heroes of the luxury hospitality industry, and show that their job requires real skill, speed, and teamwork. Because even in Las Vegas, the city of casinos and excess, cleaning can become an extreme sport.
Number 20.
Did you know that in Africa there are houses that look like living works of art, painted with incredible colors and patterns by their own owners? They are called Gurunsi houses, found in southern Burkina Faso and northern Ghana. These structures are built from mud or adobe, but what truly makes them extraordinary is how women decorate every wall with unique geometric patterns using natural pigments made from soil, ash, and plants. Each design has meaning. Some protect against spirits, others celebrate life, harvests, or community traditions. But these aren't just simple houses. Many form fortified compounds arranged like labyrinths, with walls that connect multiple homes together. And no two houses are the same. The colors and patterns depend on each family's creativity and the local climate. Every year they are often repainted to keep them vibrant. These houses aren't just homes. They are open-air galleries, displaying art, culture, and tradition in every corner. Homes that live and breathe art, painted by hand and filled with stories in every line and color. If this video surprised you, wait until you see the others I've got here. They're going to blow your mind. Hit like, tell me in the comments what impacted you the most, and don't leave without watching the next video. See you there.